Hello, uh, happy Valentines. Um, I think I'm literally gonna edit this after I'm done with it. So maybe, if not, happy late Valentines. Um, yeah. So hopefully all is well. Um, um, I don't know what I was particularly going to talk about. I kind of just I wanted to do like a topic uh that I already done. It's about love, but at that point, I'm just recycling ideas. So yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Um, so I thought I'd talk about the first time I'd ever actually loved someone that wasn't my mom, like family, um, or just like a friend, like a brotherly love. Um, I mean like opposite sex love, you know, like boy and girl, stranger. So yeah. Um, Unfortunately, I had to work today, so I'm a bit tired. Um, so sorry if my thoughts aren't really sounding correct or sound like nonsense. Um, they made it so that that we would be working from morning until 5 now because it used to be 4. But that's besides it. Also, good news though. Good news. I did quit. I put in my 2 weeks, so my last day will be on the 21st. So in about like a week or so, I think. Yeah, like about like a week. Technically, it's like not even a week. It's like I would say it's just like 6 days because I'm not scheduled for the last day that I work. I'm scheduled from I think so the 17th to the 20th. So the 20th will actually be my last day. So yeah. Um is it a smart decision? I don't know. But I'm getting a bit off topic. That's for future. I'll probably just make a entry about that another time. Just thought I'd just bring it up here because that's good news. That's really good news. I I hope. I think it's good news. I was thinking it's kind of bad, but anyways. Um, so I won't lie. Um, this topic, I tried recording it um a while back for like the beginning of February, but I just wasn't feeling it, and I feel like I was just talking like way too much and just oversharing, and oversharing. It's my like journal entry thing, so it doesn't make any sense, but it's always a thought in my mind that if someone sees this, they're gonna get just bored immediately, and I'm trying to just not give advice, but give an experience to show that like I usually say that you're not alone in a certain experience, and there's other people like you. So yeah, um, the reason this is kind of a hard topic for me to talk about is because of kind of how recent uh, it sort of was, and sort of my thought process kind of afterwards, after everything happened. So yeah, let's just let's talk about it. Let me gather my thoughts. All right. There was a time during sophomore year that I was very lonely. I didn't really have any friends. Um, I'm not gonna say I was bullied because I kind of I kind of started like avoiding the people that had bullied me, um, and other stuff like that. Um, that's something else that I'll talk about another time. Right now, I'm just talking about you know how the build up. So yeah. Anyways, and I was just lonely. I was very lonely. I didn't really do well in school. Um, and I I didn't really think like anyone was interested in me. And eventually, this led up to meeting my friends and them uh, giving me advice and all that stuff. And then eventually, they'd give me an option to go on a like not a dating app. It's not like Tinder or anything. It's an app called Wiz. It's a it's a very terrible app. It's it's so unbelievably like bad that I wish I could have just like literally done anything else. Like I wish, but I don't want to say they peer pressure me into like making an account, but they did, and I get that like um dating app. Oh, this is the first time I love someone, and it's on a dating app, and it's like, yeah, I understand. Like, you can't really like trust people who are on a dating app because there's a reason they're on a dating app. But you can't just judge everyone just because they're on an app for love. You know, surely like whoever's watching this has considered it at least like once, something like that, at least once. You know. So yeah. Anyways, a little tangent there. So I got the app, um, and it was essentially kind of like Tinder in a way, except like you could talk to people, send them messages without like having to like pay for like a premium. Although you could pay for a premium, but it was really stupid. There you didn't really get anything out of it. So yeah, um, had help setting up profile, all that stuff, blah blah blah. And it went about as well as you would expect for a dating app. Or it's not a dating app. They advertise it as a finding friends app, which is pretty scummy because it's obviously supposed to be meant for like dating. But who am I to judge? You know. And it's for like 12 plus. I saw that. It's like for like 14 plus. It's like, bro. Anyways, um, so yeah, they helped me do that. Um, Eventually I started talking with like, a few people. Never went on to be like something serious. I just be polite, friendly conversation, like expressing like interests. Which that was like one good thing about it. It's like you can meet people, maybe you have similar interests, and then you could just not be bored for like I don't know, like an hour, and then eventually you just wouldn't talk to them ever again. So yeah. Um, and eventually, after about it was either a couple weeks or about a month that I had been. Actually, that sounds bad. I wasn't scrolling like every single day. Uh, I was kind of just like just looking, and then I would just like go like that, and I'd be like, oh okay, and then I would put it back down. So I wasn't really like doing anything particularly like serious. I wasn't really seriously looking into it because I won't lie, I had a very and I'm not gonna lie, I still do have low self esteem and confidence in myself. But I will say it's at least a little bit better than it was in high school. But even then, it's not good. So, um, anyways, So I didn't really like talk with anyone, and then after a while, I had saw this girl, and her name was Daniela, and I had sent her a message. Just I I'll express that I didn't think she was gonna respond. I just kind of sent it as like a hope, like hopefully maybe a chance, like a slight 1% chance, you know, because I thought she was really attractive. I thought she was really beautiful, and I sent her the message. I literally didn't expect her to respond like at all. Not I. What I mean, like by that is like I'm pretty sure like when I sent it, I uh I was just like, yeah, I don't even know why I did that, because it was like she's definitely not gonna respond. Anyways, I'm emphasizing this too much. And eventually she did. She actually responded, and turns out she was very interesting. She was an interesting person. She was a very lovely person. She was very kind, even though she had told me she didn't think so. But you know, I don't know her. Maybe she's not. Maybe she is. I think she is. For the majority that we had talked, she was always very kind. There were some times of, yeah, maybe she was like kind of like on and off on with her emotions, but who's not? And yeah. So after a while, we kind of, yeah, just kept talking for about a couple weeks, and I was like, I really like this girl. I really do. I really want to ask her to be, you know, like my girlfriend, or be like go on a date, or just like, I don't know, be something romantic, because I never experienced anything particularly like that. I mean, if you really want to count like middle school experiences, then sure, because I've had middle school experiences with like other girls, like like a prom, and like that was my like first and last prom. So yeah, that was the last one I went to. It was in middle school, so it wasn't even prom. It was like a kids party. So yeah, um, um, I kind of lost track where I was. Oh yeah, I was thinking about, yeah, no, just asking her maybe on a date, something like that. Um, then eventually, um, she had told me that she dogs, sorry, she liked me, and I thought it was very surprising, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, during that time I wasn't, I I didn't think I was very like interesting as a person. Like I was just being nice. I was just being kind, and I was just trying to like relate to her, you know. And we did relate a lot, and you know, it just blossomed. And that was the beauty of it. We just kind of just like it kept rolling and rolling and rolling, and then eventually we found out more and more about each other, and it just became this whole thing. So she had called me, and she had very lovely voice. Um, it was like it was kind of funny, because I was like, because she did kind of like have an accent, but she was like, yeah. like some people told me I have like an English accent. I was like, I don't think that's I don't think that's what it is. But but yeah. Um so we talked on the phone almost for like, I believe maybe it was like 3 hours, maybe, or maybe like about an hour, maybe, I don't know, between there. I can't remember, but but yeah. So we talked for a while, and then eventually we said goodbye, and then we kept talking the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until we kind of just started talking almost every single day, practically. Like there's probably we probably like had one day where we wouldn't talk for like each week, but we talk like a lot, like at the start of our relationship. Um, Now I want to emphasize when I say relationship, we she had never said that she considered me like her boyfriend or anything, or anything like of that sort. So it was more just like a talking stage, seeing where things would go. And I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. I'm not sure if this is a hot take or just a mild take or whatever, but talking stages are the stupidest shit. It's the stupidest shit ever. It is so fucking stupid. I hate the fact that you have to have a stage before you date. Like, what is that? Just say that you like each other, go on a date. If it doesn't work out, well, see ya. Won't see you again. So yeah, sorry, just a little thing. Um, it's my opinion. If you like talking stages, good for you. I know like people like to be cautious about who they pick, but it's like, come on, man. Anyways, so after a while, we went on dates. Our first date was at a mall. Um, and my outfit choice was really really stupid. I'd wear sweatpants, like black sweatpants with like a blue shirt. It was I still have it. Actually, I don't know where it went. It might be in like someone else's uh, drawer. I have no idea where it went. Or might have in my car. I don't even know. But it was a bad choice because she showed up in like a very very nice outfit. It was like a very nice like top and like pants. It was very like she had like a grungy like boutique, I guess you would call it, like style. And I thought it was a very very fitting style for her because she was like she was actually very small. Um, it was kind of unbelievable how small she was because not even my sister was that small because she was my sister is like, oh, I guess, well, I'll just say my height is 5'6". My sister's like about like 5'3", 5'4". So she's like kind of like right here, like to my eyes, like her top of her head. So yeah, but Daniela was like was like to my like to like almost my elbow. So it felt very weird meeting her because I don't want to say this, but I felt like maybe she wasn't the age she was. But after we talked and we walked around and talked about, I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, she's definitely like, yeah, my age. So that definitely scared me, um, a little bit. But I know there's like people who like short people who are like shorter than them or like taller than them, and I thought it was just a cute height. um, and that was kind of weird to say, but you know, any heights, it's whatever. You know, shouldn't be based off of appearance. Should be based off of like how they are. Anyways, off topic. Um, so first date went all right. We had held hands, and she expressed that she didn't really like didn't really I can't speak. Sorry. Didn't really like she didn't really like that sort of like affection where it's like holding hands or like hugging or like doing anything like that. Though it was kind of weird because even though she didn't do that, she kept a very piercing eye contact. Very piercing eye contact. Like this. Yeah. And God, just remembering we sat together in like the cafeteria, and every time she'd look up, like look at me in my eyes, it was just she was just she was just beautiful in like every way. We talked about the type of music she liked and I liked. Talked about our school experiences and talked about different ideas that we had. And more and more we talked, the more and more I just came to just like her more, like even more than I did while we were talking. Because the way she did, her own thing, the way she thought, the way she talked, the way she looked, the way that she just wouldn't really care and just do her own thing. So yeah. Second date, I won't go too much into detail because that was kind of a really, I don't want to say it was really bad, but it was really bad on my part because I'd set it up. I thought it was like because there's a mall or nearby where I live, like an outlets, I guess. But we went there, and I thought there was gonna be like a gallery because she really liked like art galleries, and I was gonna bring her to one, just walk around. And there's some other things to do there. There's like things to eat that you can eat there. There were other places that you could shop at for like clothes and stuff. So I feel like she would have liked it. But come to find out, the gallery was closed. So we kind of just walked around and really didn't really do anything. Um, she just bought like boba. We talked, but I felt like this time was a bit more awkward. So yeah. And then we went into Sephora because she. Funny thing is, she I didn't even know, but she didn't wear makeup like at all. For the first time I met her, and she was kind of like starting to get into it. So it was like the fact that she wasn't wearing makeup was like how are you not a model? Joking. But she was very pretty without makeup. So yeah. Um, the third date, um, I'm not even sure if it was like a date, but oh, actually, this was I remember when this was. So backtrack. Um, following the second date, we'd kept talking. Um, and like messages and all that stuff. Oh, and I forgot to emphasize this. I got rid of Wiz immediately after we like I noticed that we were talking for a few days. So just putting that out there because I was like, okay, this is definitely like turning into something. Just putting it out there. I literally got rid of it immediately, like as soon as I could. So yeah. Um, so we were talking on I think it was Instagram. I think it was like Instagram, like just regular messages, like back and forth. But uh, we kept talking more, and the more we talked, the more I started to realize that she kind of had uh, she kind of had like a not really like a problem, but like it was a certain situation I guess she was in because this was still like I think this was like junior year actually, so around like toward like this was like I think it was like towards the end of junior year I think. So towards the end of my junior year, we talked a little bit, and then she she was apparently like oh well actually I don't know that's not a good way to start the sentence. Um, but she had texted me when she was drunk. I know underage drinking it's not good. Um, and please, if anyone who's watching this, don't don't underage drink and don't drink and drive. Just say that. But she wasn't drinking and driving. She was drinking at home. Um, and she texted me all that stuff. And this was kind of like it was kind of a moment where I started to realize that maybe she's not all that uh, perfect per se. But I knew she wasn't perfect, but like perfect in my eyes, you know. And I did get kind of upset. I won't lie, and it started kind of like going to the point where she also started to smoke. Uh, even though I believe she knew she had a like a problem, because she had been through a lot. She's told me before. I won't say what. Um, because if I did talk about it, it'd be this video would be even longer, and it would be very messed up to even talk about it at all because it is not my experience. It's not my duty to talk about anything she's been through unless she wants me to. That's her decision. And I will not bring up any sort of trauma whatsoever. It was just this is just me talking about my relationship with her. But anyways, back to it. I just wanted to emphasize that. So everything that I've said so far, I've never like mentioned anything like about personally like her life or anything. I've just mentioned things about her. So I'm gonna keep it that way. Um, I guess I did kind of do it with the drinking and the vaping, but how many people do that? You know, there's so many people. My friends do that. Do I do that? Not really. Um, I'm probably the most sober goody two shoes person in my friend group for the most part. So yeah. Anyways, I started to yeah see imperfections that I felt were not okay. Um, eventually, we did start falling out, and she said that she did not want to talk anymore for a while. And then I didn't really know what to do because I felt like I was basically just losing again. I was right from the start that I knew that this was too good to be true. So we didn't talk for a couple months. And then eventually my friend told me to try to talk to her again after I think about 3 months. And then eventually I did. I followed her again because I think she removed me as like a follower. And then I messaged her and asked how things were going. And she said fine. And she said that she was actually glad, if I remember, that I had texted her because she was like removing contacts from Instagram and stuff like that, and contacts from like her phone, and she had just gone through a couple things. I think I'm trying to remember this as best as I can because this was like almost about a. Oh my god, this is almost like, yeah, like 3 years ago. We were 3 or 2 years ago. Coming up on, I think, probably 4. Holy shit. Yeah, this is like almost like, or no, I think it is like 3 or 2 years ago. No, it is like 3 or 2 years ago. What am I talking about? Um. So yeah, and then she said that she didn't really want to reconnect the way that we had previously, where it was kind of like a romantic relationship. And I felt we could definitely make it work out just as a friendship, you know? Because we still had interests. We still, you know, talked, still had some connections together. But I'll say something right now that's important for the future of the remaining stories. Deep down, if you disconnect from someone, you will want to reconnect with them in the same way. But you'd probably hide it somewhere in your brain, somewhere in your heart, that the way you want to connect with them isn't very right. So you kind of just forget about it and just stick to anything that they say they want. So what you're really going for is, hopefully, she'll like me again. Um, but I'll just stay like a friend in the meantime. And that's kind of what happened with me. Um, so I kind of just like was like, yeah, I'd be down to just be friends. And part of me was like, yeah, I actually would be down. But the like 80%, 80% of me was like, maybe there's a chance that she'll change her mind. And maybe she'll want to reconnect, and that's a very, very dumb, stupid, and very childish thing to think. Because people have their minds set on what they need and what they want. maybe those two won't always be aligned, but you can't change someone or change someone's thought of you or change someone's mind just by doing something slightly differently. Like if I were to just like, I don't know, if I were to like kill someone, but like I killed like a homeless dude, they'd be like, "Why'd you kill the homeless dude?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but then they find out. But no, actually that's about. But then I say, "Well, I didn't kill him. I just accidentally pushed him off, even though I was looking back, you know, back from me while I was backing out from like a rooftop. Don't know why the homeless man is on a rooftop. Sorry, I'm trying to make like an image, but I like I was looking back and I kept going even though I saw him. Like that wouldn't change your mind because at that point it'd be like, well, you saw it. You literally saw it. So yeah. And deep down, I felt like yes, this definitely was a bad thing to do, but I still did it either way. And I'm not very proud of hiding true feelings, yeah. But I really did want to just be friends with her. I did. But yeah. So going forward, we had a little it wasn't a date. It was kind of just like a meetup. Um we went to a cafe that she had mentioned, like the kind of like the first couple months we started talking. We just never went because it was kind of far because she lived kind of far from me and it was close to her. But we had went and we had just food and then we had walked around. She showed me some shops that were there that she liked going to. Then we walked around to look at all this stuff. Um, and I thought it was like if it was a date, that would have been like the very best date because I thought it went pretty well because we were talking a lot, um, and we enjoyed uh being with each other, um, and we just kind of like joked around with each other sometimes, you know, and yeah, it was very it was a very good experience. Definitely something that I would like to relive. Um, I wish I could remember the conversations we had, but we had so many conversations in person and in text that it's kind of hard to pinpoint um, the exact like conversations we had. Though I do remember just one. Fortunately, it's towards the end. So yeah. Um. Anyways, after that whole thing, um, we kept talking, but this time we didn't talk as much. So sometimes I talk with her a little bit, and then there'd be a couple weeks where I just want to talk to her. Sometimes I want to talk to her for like I want to say months, but like about like a month. So yeah. Um, and to emphasize this, uh, why did we kind of like stop doing it? Because we were friends, yeah, but also because one of the main reasons she kind of started like to just not really enjoy like liking me was because uh, I think this is either what she kind of said, so I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase. She felt and said that talking talking to me kind of was starting to beginning to feel like a chore because it was kind of the same conversations over and over. And is that a bad sign? Maybe for for some people. Is that a bad sign? Yes. For everyone who's who knows, yes. If you're talking to someone and they're saying, "Hey, we're having like the same conversations over and over," like it's beginning to feel like I we can't really talk about anything besides like the same thing, and it's just very boring, and you're very boring. Like that's not a good feeling. That's not a good thing to say about you. And I was glad she said that because I did try to improve, but I'm me. I am whom I am, and I didn't really make a difference because I didn't really know how to. So even though I tried, um, you know, some things are out of my control. Um, and I will definitely try moving forward to be better with conversations. Um, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we talked not as much, and then it was around senior year. Actually, it was senior year because this is like graduation. So, well, before that, did we? Trying to remember if we went um somewhere. No, we didn't actually. Uh, but during senior year, we hung out a total of about 3 times. Um, one one was when I after I got my license. Um, I had said that we could hang out a bit more if she wanted to, but it's not really good if we're just friends because then at that point I'm just trying to see her more because I just liked being with her. But we ended up hanging out. We hung out around her place, and we ended up getting like food, sitting by sitting in a park by like a tree, just eating. Uh, I won't lie, it was kind of awkward because we didn't really talk to each other. We were just kind of eating, and she was just mentioning things, um, about like memories around where that like around that park, which I thought it was interesting. I remember what they were. I won't say because yeah, that's her thing. Um, but it was very nice. I thought it was very nice. Um, we did a couple things afterwards. We went to Goodwill just to go shop and stuff, and she got a couple books. We looked at some clothes and stuff like that. One thing I remember about when we went into Goodwill was there was this one guy who went up to us, and then he was like, "Hey, I need to find my wife." He was like, blah 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 blah, and I was like, the thing was like he was like getting like forward, so he kind of like scared me. So it was kind of weird because Daniela was behind me. This is kind of just like a little like weird thing that happened. Um, and I was kind of just like I didn't know really what to do, but I just like kind of put my hand out, yeah, just in case like he did anything because it's around those parts where it's like there's people. It's like kind of like I don't want to say it's ghetto, but it's kind of like it was kind of like a ghetto because there was Actually, that's not. I shouldn't say that. A car meetup is not ghetto. Any like a car meetup shouldn't be considered ghetto. Maybe it is. You know, I'm not a car person. I've never been. I never really been to like a like a car meetup. But yeah, um, it was literally outside the Goodwill parking lot, which was kind of funny. but but yeah, he was like blah blah blah, and then he complimented her because um she was basically model material. She basically was. I'm pretty sure he even said that. I think he mistook us for boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. Um. Anyways, just a little funny thing, little weird thing that happened at the Goodwill. Then afterwards, I just dropped her off at home, and that was that. Um. Second time we hung out. Second time we hung out. Second time we hung out was technically both of our graduations. Like it was I guess you can consider it four times we hung out in senior year, but it was kind of like like we kind of knew we were both gonna be there, or actually kind of she kind of wasn't really there unfortunately at my like graduation. But anyways, so she went to yeah to my graduation. Um, but unfortunately, she couldn't get in the actual stadium, so I felt bad because she was just outside, and man, I still feel bad about it because that just means she was out there for a while because the graduation took so goddamn long. It was so long, and I just hated it. I just hated it. I just wanted to get it over with, but yeah. Uh, she ended up meeting most of my family. So like my brother, my sister. Um, she ended up meeting my dad, which was funny because she thought my dad was a friend of mine because my dad. I won't lie, my dad is a bit short. Yeah, I think he's shorter than me. So yeah. Um, and kind of just the way he acted because my dad kind of like he's kind of like playful in some ways. You know, I won't get into how my dad is. Um, but yeah. Um, and she had already met my mom because she was the main person who had dropped me off and picked me up after like the times we've hung out during like junior year. It was around senior year when I kind of just did my own thing, like went back and forth, and yeah. So she hadn't seen her in a while because it was kind of a long time, but yeah. Um, so we ended up going to a restaurant, and it was definitely. I feel like it was very nerve wracking for her because meeting another person's family uh is very nerve wracking. How do I know? Because I did it with her. I'll tell that story after this one. But but yeah, and then she had talked with my parents and all that stuff. Talked, kind of with my siblings. She was very nervous. I feel bad. Um, because I definitely think, ugh, get a blister. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But she had a yeah. She had talked with like my siblings a little bit, and my cousin was there too. So she kind of like talked with her too, and they asked her questions about her, like all that stuff, blah blah blah, and about when her graduation is. And it was very nice to see that my family was interested because they never really like seen me talking with someone. Never really mentioned it. Like sure, middle school, yeah, but like it's middle school. Who's gonna remember that and who's gonna want to care about that? But but yeah. Um, so after that whole thing, we uh, she had called one of her friends because one of her friends was going shopping for like their graduation dresses and stuff, and just getting ready for like just their graduation, which is like I think it was almost like a week after ours. I think, or I think it was like a couple days after. But but yeah, I just remember it was in the same month. It was in May, so yeah. So after a while, we uh we kind of waited outside, and then we talked, and she brought up that she was very nervous and felt um she felt my family didn't really like her because she didn't really talk a lot. But like, how can you not like someone because they don't really talk? And sort of let her know, it's not that big of a deal. Um, yeah, just because you don't talk and so on and so forth. And then we kind of talked about our relationship as like friends and all that stuff. And you know, she definitely she definitely started seeing through the cracks, and she, she's I feel like she started to know. She started, you know. So yeah, and then her friend picked her up, and then they went on their way. And also, I forgot to say, she gave me a very nice gift. It was flowers in a balloon. It was very nice. I enjoyed it. I think the flower smelled very nice. Very very nice. Um, so yeah, just a little thing. Um, so after that was her graduation, and I I'd gotten her a I think it was either a necklace or a bracelet. I think it was both. I think it was both, and it was by uh, a local shop, like a local boutique shop, and I had gotten her like I gone sorry, I'd gotten it from there, and yeah, and then I got her. I think it was I think it was a balloon. Yeah, it was a balloon with flowers too. So I gone her that stuff. Uh, and then I had to like leave it in my car because I saw other people going back with like the same things, and so I just left it in there. And then I went to the stadium, and I just kind of just waited. Like I kind of like sat in like the back row, but it was weird being like just like a single person in a seat who was like about the age of like the people who were right like there in the center of the stadium. So it was kind of like, hey, what? Like, why are you here? But it's like nobody really even cared. Nobody really even noticed. So yeah. Um. So her graduation was very nice. It was just like a pretty basic graduation. They do all the things, and I will say it was a bit shorter than mine. I would say it was actually a lot shorter than mine. I think so. Yeah, I wish it was that short for me, but fortunately not. Um, damn, an hour. Sorry, looking at the time, I didn't realize it's almost been an hour. It's already okay. Uh, I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Um, because I'm kind of tired and I know towards the end I'm just not gonna just feel good. But anyways, so the graduation was nice. Um, I'd met her outside of her graduation. I saw because I'd met her mom before. I'd met her mom, and her mom only really spoke Spanish. And did I speak Spanish? Yeah, and I still kind of do. But it is very very bad. Like I can understand what they're saying for the most part. I can't form my own sentences, I guess. Like if I were to have a conversation, it probably wouldn't really last for like almost like a minute, 2 minutes. So yeah, it's not a very good conversation, like conversational Spanish. But it gets me by, you know. It gets me by for the most part. Um, so I'd met, yeah. So I'd seen her mom. I'm presuming what was uh her mom's like boyfriend, because her parents. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say this, but well, I guess I kind of already said it. Fuck. But her parents are separated. Um, so her mom was like, you know, seeing someone, and yeah, and then I saw the scariest thing that a person can see, or a dude who has a relation to a girl. I saw her brothers, but I'm joking. They're really chill. I like them. I feel like they were definitely skeptical about me. Um, but you know, they're brothers. I'm a brother. I know how they feel. So, um, and then we ended up, or they ended up, you know, we ended up meeting each other. I ended up saying hi, all that stuff, and we decided that we were gonna go somewhere to eat just to like celebrate, and we went to a taco place, and she had actually decided to go with me, and I offered my gifts in my car to her. Um, she said she liked them. She did. Um, it's kind of funny because after this, she showed me that she used the necklace as like a bookmark in her books that she read. Um, but anyways, we went to the taco place. Um, and it was there that we kind of talk like I kind of talked more with uh her family, like her brothers, and her her mom's boyfriend, I guess. Like I don't really know what to call him because it was just complicated, I think. So I'm just gonna stick with Matt. That's as far as I know. I'm probably getting it wrong. I think I'm definitely getting it wrong. Maybe it was someone else, but I'm just doing it based on what I saw, context clues, you know. So yeah. Um. So we talked, and her mom was very silent, and I I got really scared because I thought she did not like me. She she seemed like it seemed like she was like kind of like making looks at me, like she didn't like trust me. But after after we finished the meal, and I drove her back to her place, and oh, preface this. Um, After we finished the meal, we ended up going back to her place. And on the way back, she had asked if uh, I wanted to hang out more, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, if she wants to hang out more, like I'd totally be down. So yeah, um, but yeah. So that was just the preface. What I was saying before, just so you can like not get confused. So when I took her back to her place, she um came back outside to get in my car, and I was kind of like I thought because we were just driving around, um, and we were just talking. She was showing me music um, from who was it? It was like young something. I always forget. It wasn't young blood. It was ah I forget. I just remember that it was like sort of like a rap. Um, and I thought it was alright, because I'm not like a modern rap person, but that's besides the point of what I was just talking about. But we had a conversation, a bit of a conversation. Sorry, dogs are working. Um, and I had uh, I had said, I think your mom doesn't really like me, but she had said, she was apparently her mom was nervous of me because her mom really liked me for some reason. I don't know why, but she said that she really liked me, and uh, apparently I remember uh, after the falling out, uh, the previous like couple of stories that I just mentioned with with her, and the falling out. When I talked to her again, she had mentioned that her mom was like upset that she wasn't talking to me anymore, which I was just like what did I do to make it to where her mom was like my number one fan? But yeah, I just thought it was a bit. I thought it was sweet, you know. Her mom, likes me or had liked me. Um, Not to say that maybe she doesn't anymore. I don't know, but yeah. Going back to what I was saying. Um, I was glad, so that kind of like took some weight off my shoulders. And then we went to outlet mall, not far from her place, and we ended up talking. And this was probably one of the few memories that I cherish a lot, and that I just think about a lot because this was this was not a date. This was after graduation. Yet it felt like a date because of how much we were talking and how much we were joking around and how much we just felt comfortable with each other, to the point where I had parked in the parking lot because we were going to get out and just look at stuff, and we were talking about piercings because she'd gone piercings. She had mentioned it, and I was like, well, maybe I'll get another piercing. I have no idea. And she'd be like, would you want to get a piercing with me like right now? And I was sort of in shock because I was like, what? Like right now, like a piercing together? And it was just like, I don't know. It was like a good feeling because she felt so comfortable. I felt so comfortable, and it felt like maybe things were going the way I kind of wanted to. Kind of like that part of me was like saying that. Like the 80%. But the 20% me was like, this is a very like this is a very good interaction. This is like the best interaction that I've had like with her so far. And it was just a feeling. The feeling was so amazing. It was so great. We we had took a picture in a photo booth, and I won't lie, the camera. I don't know if it was the camera or just because it was really hot because we were kind of sweaty because it's outside and it was during May, and it gets very hot in Arizona during May. and we we were just literally just kind of just walking in and out of stores and just walking, and like there weren't really halls because they were outside, but it was just like down like certain blocks of like the mall. So we definitely looked we definitely looked chopped. Me and her did, but I thought it was funny. Um, I still have the photo, um, and it's a photo that I kind of see almost every single day because I have it. Um, I'll just have it. I just have it somewhere, you know. Uh, so yeah. Um, and we went into some shops. You know, went out of some shops, kept talking. Uh, went into some shops, talked about, ooh, well, this will look good on you. Oh, this will look good on, yeah, good on you too. How about this? You know, we would just talk, and we would just be like, certain things, and she ended up asking a certain question, and I'll see if I can remember this, but she asked if I started seeing like or just like been interested in any other girls or anything like that. Not that she was like concerned. She was just asking like as a question, and I was said, no, not really. And then she had asked if I'd really even talked to any other girls, and I said, not really. You're kind of the only one I really talked to. And I think it was that moment that she might have started to realize that maybe this is not a healthy relationship. That maybe I was doing it for a separate purpose to get her to get back with me. And I think that question definitely like it helped her with her thought process of kind of getting on the clues, you know. So yeah, afterwards we had gone. I think yeah we gone. I think we got ice cream. Maybe I think maybe. Oh no, we did. It was at like a local like Mexican place, and we had shared like a ice cream. Thing is, it wasn't like an ice cream. It was like a little like sundae, or like yeah, it was like a sundae. So yeah, and then we had went back to her place, and I had dropped her off. I just want to emphasize, I never really went into her place except for one time. It was Christmas because we exchanged gifts, and we kind of talked. It was kind of us just talking, and I just kind of fixed up like a guitar because I had played a couple songs for her, um, because I told her that I play guitar, all that stuff. So I have to repair a guitar and all that stuff, and we ended up yeah going into her house for a little bit. I was just like kind of like in the living room. I never like went into her room, um, and that was like the only time I ever went in. Sorry, that's just kind of off topic. Um, I thought I'd just bring that up because it's like so you dropped her off, but you like never went in, and it's like yeah, yeah, I did. So yeah, that was the only time, and I won't lie, like there wasn't really a time where I was like, God, like why can't I go in? Why can't I go into her place? Because she didn't feel comfortable. She didn't like feel comfortable with me going into her place, and that's her decision, and then I'm gonna respect that decision. So I never mentioned it. I never expressed that I wanted to, and I also just generally just actually just didn't want to because why would I? There's no purpose for me in going into her place. So yeah. Um, anyways, that was kind of off topic, but I dropped her off and then went back home, and I cherished the memory for a while, and then after a while, we had talked a little bit, and then I noticed that you know, we weren't really talking as much, and yeah, that she was kind of like just like backing away, not really talking as much, and this was like a few months after, or this was like about like 2 months like afterwards, I would say around there, and uh, we hung out another time, and this was the very last time that I would actually see her. Um, I I'd asked if she wanted to go to an event. It's an event called First Fridays. It happens every first Friday of the month. Creative name. Um, but I'd been there a couple times. That's the place where I performed. I performed 2 times there. First time it was unauthorized. I wasn't supposed to, but they were like, "You're really good. We can book you a spot." And I was like, "Cool." And then second time, I got the spot, and I was like, "I'm not even sure if I did good." So I never really performed again, which I kind of regret because I should have done it. But yeah, that was my experience with First Fridays. She told me that she's been there. She's been going there for like a couple times now. But yeah, um, um, so we ended up going. She had brought one of her friends. It was good. It was good to meet her. I think she had mentioned her before. Um, but yeah, that's besides what I was talking about. They just ended up just chit chatting with each other because they know each other more than I really kind of like know her because they hang out a lot. I think. I don't know. Not for me to say. Um, and we started going. Originally, I was supposed to also have a friend, but he couldn't go. And but yeah, it was me, her, and then her friend, and yeah. So after that, we arrived, and we kind of just walked around, and we just kept walking around, looking at stores. Um, I bought her a cake, like a little piece of a cake. It was like a I forgot what it was. It was like a chocolate, like a chocolate tiramisu cake, I think, something like that. Um, we shared like a little bit of it. I wasn't like super hungry, so I only had like a couple things, and then we literally just walked around. It's just like a thing that happens like on like a street. So it's like the whole street is blocked out for the event. It was kind of like a just like a market where like people can advertise, they can promote, they can perform, that's all that stuff. It's really cool. I enjoy going there, and there's a variety of people down there. I will say that. So yeah. Um, but then after a while, we kind of just like kind of just like yeah kept going around, and then she kind of like asked me, "Do you consider this like a date?" And then I was like, "No, not really, unless that's what you consider it, which that's what you consider it." And she's like, "Hmm, okay." And I just thought it was a strange interaction. but I feel like it definitely built on to her kind of like figuring out like I shouldn't say figuring out because it feels like saying that makes it seem like I had bad intentions, even though not really. Like I just kind of like just wanted her to like be my girlfriend basically, but and I was kind of just like sorry, microphone. I was just kind of like waiting, even though I shouldn't have been, you know. But anyways, so that kind of I think that definitely helped with her like building up evidence of that. So after that, we had went back to my car, and then I had taken her friend back to her place, and then we ended up getting McDonald's. Funnily enough, we actually ordered the same thing because it was like my go-to meal, and it was her go-to meal. So it was just funny. So yeah, what a quinky dink. Um, so during like the drive-through and all that stuff, she had brought up like other things, um, like certain uh, I shouldn't say drama, but it kind of did kind of sound like drama in her life, and like certain things that that felt unavoidable for her, you know, and just personal things for her, which, like I said, I won't get into. Um, and after a while, we got our food, and then we talked a bit more, and she started asking questions that were kind of out of the blue, like kind of I wouldn't say random. They were definitely they're definitely like more personal questions and definitely more like kind of thought provoking questions. And one of the questions she had asked is if I had ever had mm, my first kiss. I had said I said no, never had my first kiss, and she was really surprised by that. And what was also uncanny was that during the car ride, she would also kind of just like do her own thing. She would like go on TikTok, maybe like record something, you know, just to, like having like drafts, just to like mess around. And she would like show me, and then she'd look back at it. And she'd be like, "Yeah, you're very handsome," and all that stuff. And yeah, I thought it was like a bit weird because it was like, why are you saying this when we're both friends, we both should be friends. But looking back at it now, I feel like it was kind of provoking, response for me to see what kind of response I would say. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I feel like I'm definitely overthinking it. But who's to say? Um, and then after that whole thing, we had went back to her place, and then we had just eaten in my car, and we just kind of like talked a little bit, and then she played her music, in my car, and after after a while, she was like mentioning things and asking more questions and all that stuff, and also want to say she wasn't only asking questions. I was also like talking with her, having conversations and all that stuff. But after that, she had asked a couple questions, and then the last question She had asked if she had asked if she wanted to be my first kiss, and she said that, to be honest, she didn't really want to do it, and she kind of just wanted to do it because maybe she felt bad. I have no idea, but yeah, and it really took me off guard. It really did, and I had sat there for what felt like forever, because it was shocking to me. I did not expect her to say that or to just mention that. And then I made a decision and said, well, let me just say this. Um, she's been through things, certain things which I'm not going to mention or talk about. Um, and I feel like if I were to have made the decision, that it would just wouldn't it would have made her situation worse in a certain way. And the 80% of me was saying, do it. Do it now, because you won't get this opportunity again. This will be the last time you get this opportunity. Do it. But then the 20% was, if you really, really cared about her, if you really did, you would make the smart decision to say no. To say, no, thank you. I'm good. And luckily, I said no. I said, no, it's whatever. Don't. I don't want you. Doing that. Doing something that you don't want to. And she was like, oh, okay. I don't want to be. I don't want to be like she was like, oh, okay, good, because it seems like she like, yeah, she like was being mean, but she didn't want to. That's her decision. I'm not gonna force her to do it. She asked me. She asked me. I said no, and that was that. If I had said yes, I'm sure she would have said, you know what? Never mind. I'm sure she would have said that. So yeah. And afterwards we parted ways. She went into her house. That was the last time I saw her. That was the last time. Sorry. Oh, I'm crying. Yeah, that was the last time I saw her. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be crying over this. I was trying really hard to just try not to. But it's hard to, you know? I don't want this to be like a sad video. I'm very sorry. It's very personal for me. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Anyways, um, after that, um, oh my god, I'm so sorry to whoever's watching this entry. I'm so sorry. And if you're watching all the way through, I thank you for listening to the experience so far. So yeah, um, God, my bad. Um, after that, um, we still kind of talked, uh, for about a month, and then we it was kind of like an on and off. We kind of talked, and then seen that she had left a hat. It was a Minecraft hat, funnily enough, and she had left it under the seat by accident. Um, and she had left her graduation medallion that you get after you get the diploma and all that stuff. So I texted her and said if it had asked if she had wanted to have these things back, and she was like no, it's fine, you can keep them, they're not like important like things or stuff like that. And then it was around this time where she started to realize he he's he definitely has a different intention, and that it would be better if we were just to break it off just there. And I guess I'll read the messages for you guys, whoever's watching. And won't lie, it will be hard for me. But yeah, I don't think I'll read all the messages, obviously. Just reading back. So this is around the time when we decided to just kind of end it, or she just decided to kind of end it with me. So she had said, starting from here, because I had I was apologizing and saying, you know, if she wanted to have these things back, so on and so forth. And then I felt like I had like done something wrong. But when the whole thing that I just mentioned had happened, so yeah, she had said, "You didn't do anything wrong. I just hate dealing with repetitive things. It makes me feel trapped and in some loop. But don't worry, you'll get better. And don't do it for me. Just focus on yourself, like I said. Thanks for caring about me. I care too, but I do it in an avoidant and distant way." To be fair, she did. I won't lie. And then she replied to a different message. "No, it's okay. You can just throw them away or keep them. Didn't even notice they were gone until you mentioned." And then, thanks for that. Bye. And then I just, you know, said, you know, I get it, don't worry, blah, blah, blah. Said I keep doing better for myself Then yeah. And then after this, I think she felt like maybe it isn't a good idea to just keep this going. Hey, I think it's best if we just part ways. I don't want to give you false hope or lead you on in any way. Plus, being friends is a no-go because you'll never view me as one. You'll never truly treat me as one. It's good you're working on yourself and improving, but to be honest, you don't need to tell me. I just assume you are. I'm proud of you for coming such a long way. Notice that you and me, I've noticed that what you and me have isn't healthy for you. Because I notice you do get upset at times and you even question our whole relationship and whatnot. So it would be plainly, so it would plainly be unfair for you and me to try and act like we can just be friends. To tell you the truth, never had any romantic feelings towards you, and it never crossed my mind. It never, sorry, can't read. It never crossed my mind to get intimate or even kiss you. So everything that happened in the car made me realize our whole friendship was just a label of you not losing a connection with me. I'm glad we had never actually did anything with each other, since it would have ended badly. But I just hope you understand that I don't want to continue talking to you anymore. I thank you for always being there for me, but it's time to let go. Goodbye, Marco. And then I'll read what I said. Said I don't really know what to say. I don't want to stop talking to you. You helped me so much, and I generally do feel like we can be friends. Never wanted to do anything with you and never had any plans to. That's just me trying to make an excuse for myself. But afterwards I said, after really thinking about it, I had said to myself that maybe, or definitely, it was time that I just let go. Said, I don't want to let you go. But if it's really what will make you happy, I'll let you go. Just know I've never been in love with someone like you before. This might be love bombing, but I don't care. You're the most beautiful, caring, and kind girl I've ever met. I'll always support you even if you're gone. And then she said, I'm relieved you didn't have any bad intentions toward me, but I'm for real. We just aren't meant to be friends. If you say you love me, because I'll always be the person that you love and nothing else. You see my point? You don't want to let me go, and that's completely unhealthy for you, for your mental health. And it's what I noticed about you, that you refuse to connect with other girls because of me. I don't want that for you, because I know deep down that there's another girl who's waiting for you to come into her life. So I think it's best we let each other go. Just don't want to keep you entertained or you still waiting for me, because I know I'll never give in to you, and my mind was made up a long time ago because I never developed any feelings for you. I'm sorry. Even if 3 years went by, I just couldn't feel anything for you. Thank you so much for your kind words and saying that I'm beautiful. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. And how much time I've spent with you was amazing and fun, but I'm sorry. I just never saw you in that way. So it's best we just end it here. These are the last text messages that we sent. It said, "I understand. Please just promise me you'll be happy and you'll improve for the better." She said, "Promise I'll be happy. It's okay." Or, sorry, can't read. "Promise I'll be happy and okay. It's you who has to promise. I wish you well. Goodbye now. Promise I will. Goodbye." That was the last time I ever talked to her. It's been about a year. Almost, yeah, about a year. I know this is a very long journal entry, an hour and a half, but luckily I managed to get through it, managed to finish it, just tell my story of one of the few times that I felt like I really truly felt love. Excuse me. But yeah. I'll just say this, just in case she's watching this, because remember I did tell her that I had a YouTube channel, and maybe she subscribed, maybe she's not, but in case she ever finds this video, Daniela, please know that, just please know that I'm doing my own thing. I'm only doing this video because I feel like I've been thinking about it so much that it's gone to a point where if I don't talk about it, then I'm just gonna be thinking about it for forever. And I just won't have that weight off me. And I'll always be thinking about just you. If I ever get with someone else. And I guess this is kind of like the last message to you. Hopefully you're doing well. I know things can be hard, and I know you've probably forgotten about me, and I know you've probably forgotten about everything that we've done so far. Just know that you'll always be with me, whether I like it or not. There will always be some semblance of a memory. And going forward after this video, I will try to never mention you ever again. So yeah. Back to it, the video. Um, if you're looking for a lesson here, lesson is love. Love can be tough. Comes in different forms. You know, you don't have to hold hands. You don't have to kiss each other. You don't have to hug each other constantly. You don't have to give gifts, constantly. Love can do many things. Love can make you do a lot of things. And I would say when it comes to love, hold on to the memories more than kind of to the person. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but what I mean is cherish the memories you have with the person, and cherish the person themselves. You know, put put I don't know really how to say this. Just cherish both. You know, and another lesson is know when to let go. Just know when to realize that the goal that you have, you know, sometimes you just have to let go. And I don't really like bringing up like comparisons or analogies, but Fallout New Vegas Dead Money DLC, there's a whole thing about not being able to let go because of how valuable this certain experience is. You know, to get something, to find something in yourself, in another person, and in the end, you can find gold in like a vault. And the joke is that most people actually take the gold because there's a glitch that you can do in the game. But anyways, so the whole point is that you're supposed to leave it, because after the whole experience you realize that being there was more important than actually getting it. You know? So just being in that moment, just cherishing the memories, and just learning to let go of something that you hold valuable. And what did I let go that I felt was valuable? I let go of Daniela. And has it been a little bit tough since then? Yeah. I had a lot of days where sometimes I'll just look at photos where feeling like maybe something else I could have done, or maybe it was me, maybe it was just destined to be that way, and maybe it is. I never had a good experience when it came to girls. So with this one time, it's not the end of the world. You know, I know I'll probably find another person. Hopefully, maybe not. You know, you never know. Could be like the 1%, 15% people or of men who end up just dying alone. You know, check it, bro. I'm just joking. That's depressing. I didn't mean to make it depressing. I'm just joking around. But sometimes it may feel that way. You know, it can feel that way for a lot of people, and I think it's important that you let go of something valuable in order to do something even bigger, like self improvement or just learning from the experience. And I think I learned a lot from the experience. And I feel like moving forward, if I do end up talking with someone, if I do end up um, in a relationship with someone, that I'll know what and what not to do now. But yeah. Um, I guess I'll just end it here. Um, Almost 2 hours worth of me talking. Never thought I'd see the day where I'm just talking for 2 hours because I am very introverted. So yeah. Um, Hopefully this experience was kind of relatable. Hopefully it was not too sad. I know um, just listening to someone else talk about their relationship or like past relationship with someone or just like stuff like that, saying stories, dates. It's boring. I know most people who probably will watch this are gonna watch 1 minute and be like, "Okay, I'm not watching this, bro." But if someone ends up watching this throughout the whole video, I just want to say thank you. Um, for listening to something that was personal to me that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And hopefully you will relate to stories, you relate to the lesson. Um, and hopefully you had a good Valentine. So yeah. Um, am I more happier than I was before? Like right after the whole thing happened? Definitely. When that whole thing happened, I was very depressed. I just felt like I slipped back into that stage of like freshman sophomore year, uh, just basically high school. But yeah, it takes a while for for self reflection and for realization and all that stuff. Because there are some things that I could talk about for another hour, but I won't. Because I'm definitely overthinking some things, and they're just not worth talking about because they're very small. So yeah. Um. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed my TED talk. Thanks. um, hopefully you just enjoyed and found this somewhat helpful, maybe somewhat entertaining, maybe just as background noise. Who fucking knows? But yeah. Alrighty then. I got nothing else to say besides goodbye and be kind. Be kind to people. Costs nothing to be nice. To just be kind. And main lesson: learn the value of memories and know when to let go. Because it's important to let go of love if you love them that much. Not sure if that makes sense, but I'm sure you probably get what I'm saying. So yeah. Anyways, see ya.